We just finished drawing our clowns and we are ready to outline with glue. And outlining with glue can be really tricky. So I'm going to do some practice first to make sure my glue bottle is working. So I am making sure that there's not any dry glue at the tip, peeling that off, and I'm opening it up and I'm listening or looking. I might hear some air or I might see glue come out right away if I squeeze it. So my paper towel is to practice. I want a nice line that's not too skinny and that's not so fat that it's going to blob everywhere. When I put glue on my paper, it spreads a little bit. That's why it's so important that we check everything on our clown to make sure it's pretty big. If I put my fingers on these eyes, they're about 3 fingers big, and this nose is 2 of my fingers wide. So these shapes are big. So when I squeeze my glue onto my clown lines, I know it's not going to fill in and get all smushy with glue. Our goal today is to outline everything we drew with glue, being so careful that we're not talking to our friends and squeezing our glue bottle and getting big blobs, because we won't be able to color those. Our clowns will dry, and next time we'll be able to color with our oil crayons. Your glue is going to act like a trap and a fence to help you use the oil crayons and learn how to mix new colors. If you notice, I started at the top of my paper. Sometimes when I glue, I lean my hand on my paper, and if I start at the top, I'm not going to smush that glue all around. Some of you might want to actually touch the orange tip to the paper. Some of you might want to hold it up a little bit to glue. That's going to be your choice. I'm going to slide this up. I'm almost to the bottom. Important directions today. When you're finished, these projects have to go on a flat surface. Our drying rack right now is not flat. The papers will curl over and glue will drip. So I'm going to carry this with 2 hands. You can see my 2 hands in this video. Not just one and let it hang, because all that glue is going to drip. Look at that. That dripped already. If you get big globs like that, raise your hand and I will come around and try to kind of help you get those fixed. Your clowns are going to go on the back counter, nice and flat to dry. Has dried If and that our clown space portrait is filled up, we are ready to add have color. Mrs. Cleary We just spent some time talking about the color wheel. So we know that colors that are 1 hop or 2 hops away are going to mix really nicely with the oil crayons. If we start jumping around the circle or if we start going across a circle, our colors are not going to mix well. We also talked about white. That white and a color will make it lighter. So the pink here was red and white. I mixed a little bit in the hair with dark green and light green. You only have to try mixing in one spot. If you like mixing, you can keep doing it all over. So I'm going to color with some orange. So I've got my color here, color wheel, so you can start to kind of look. When I use the oil crayons on my project, I am using that glue line like a trap. I'm not coloring on top of it. I'm using it to help me stop my color so it stays in that spot. I am pushing hard. If I do light coloring, it doesn't look so good with this dark paper. So I'm pushing hard. And I could mix orange with 1, 2 red or orange with 1, 2 yellow. I see a yellow right here on my paper or on my crayon basket. So I'm going to see what yellow looks like. So when I mix, I go right on top of the color I just made. And I might add a little more orange in there. But check that out. I just mixed orange and yellow and kind of got what's in between. I got a yellow orange. So I have mixed in this one spot. I could be done, or I could keep mixing colors if I thought that was fun. Some of us like to get really messy, and if you want to take your finger and smear those together even more, you can do that, but you don't have to. So pretend that I just did that whole collar And I'm going to mix somewhere else, maybe. Let's see. I'm going to make his nose green. Silly, right? Clowns usually have red noses. It doesn't have to look like a real clown. I'm going to see what happens when I put white on top of that green. Wow! It looks like mint green. Pretty cool. Most clowns have white faces. You can have a white face, you don't have to. I'm noticing that this oil crayon is looking messy, so I'm just going to use the back of my paper and kind of clean it off a little bit, because I'm going to give my clown a white face. So that means I'm pushing really hard, trying to get that background as nice and white as possible. If I go fast, I can still see so much of that paper color, and I don't want to see that. I want to see a nice white clown face. So your goal at the end of art today is to have your whole clown portrait colored. Everything. The face, the nose, the shirt, the hat, the hair, and what you drew in the background. No paper color shining through today. And you have to mix in at least one spot. When you're finished, they can go in the drying rack.